Hello, trading has closed on the 28th of August, 2024. We always start with our disclaimer. We'll go over our calls, make our predictions. It's my trading plan for Thursday. Thursday is August 29th, 2024. Please remember, my calls can be completely wrong. Any trade you make should be made at your own risk. Well, here's what we said. We said that the pattern today had an early low, but it could often be confusing and ambiguous. And this is the pattern with the early low, the midday drop, and the late rally. That's the pattern, but you have to look at the times and not the shape, because it's usually a bullish day. And that's not a bullish day. And when it isn't bullish, you should see more weakness tomorrow, which doesn't guarantee a lower close, of course. But when there's early weakness and it's a weekday, you tend to get more weakness. No, even though tomorrow has the early low. We had a target, 56.21.16. That printed resistance over the target. During the day, MEJT said this flip up wouldn't stick. It didn't. Says this whole drop, said this drop wouldn't stick. That didn't. But also says this whole rally, whole drop from the open isn't going to stick. Gives us a target of 56.15.27. Well, if we don't gap down smartly, that'll be the call. But futures are way down as I'm recording this, and I don't know what'll happen overnight. Maybe they'll recover, but I'm now looking for that one to print. If I'm wrong, it'll be obvious by the open, I would think. Well, we've been saying for the past week we had all we need for a top other than the fact that we hadn't started to drop. We had that resistance. We had that resistance. All we needed was for a drop. Now, any drop needs confirmation. If we don't add on to this tomorrow, this doesn't mean anything. But, futures have already undercut the equivalent of this low. As of right now, as I'm recording this, it sure doesn't look as though that break is going to be invalidated. And if that's the right idea, here's your all-time high over here. This is either blue B or more likely A of B. And if that's B of B, which has the good fibs, how do you count this drop as being over? Maybe there's some way to do it. If we keep going up, then I'm wrong. But how do you count it as being over? I just don't see it. This could be a big wave magenta C down, and if that's what it is, I've got 5 lower targets from this year, and even if we don't see all of them, I'd sure like to see some of them. That's more unfilled targets than I normally get in the year, and if we don't fill them now, when are we going to do it? So unless this gets reversed overnight, which is always possible, I don't know what happens overnight. Unless it gets reversed, that target's not going to work. And we could be starting something big on the downside here. But as of tomorrow, the signals are still mixed. Tomorrow's pattern has the early low. It doesn't tell us where we open. It is bullish. There's a higher target. If we don't gap down smartly, the rules call for it to print. Also, we dropped all day, couldn't manage a close under midday lows. You recover all these lows at the close. So if that's maintained, it's a bullish pattern, but futures are down smartly as I write this. It was close to 40 handles from the close, so I don't think that's going to last. But again, I don't know what will happen overnight. It's negative. Today's normally bullish pattern wasn't, unless we gap and promptly overtake today's high. should see lower prices, which doesn't guarantee a lower close. So the commonest thing is a gap and a prompt move outside the day's range. They've already traded way down here in futures. It would take quite a reversal to undo the damage. We saw it today. We've been waiting for this break for a week. All we need is confirmation, and I'll grant you it hasn't come yet. And I'll grant you if this big drop overnight gets reversed, then this whole thing doesn't count. So that you always have to qualify what you say. But we don't recover this. This could be the start of something major on the downside, even though I think before the year's out, we're going to hit new highs. If we do start dropping, here are my unfilled targets from 2024. This looks negative to me, but I can be fooled if we don't get follow through. So let's see where we open tomorrow. We either reverse this fast or it's probably a long way down. And that's today's call.